in the mountains of Oaxaca, Mexico. There is a ridge that the local indigenous communities have refused to name. Not because they don't know it, they know it very well. They have known it for generations. They simply refuse to name it. Because, in their tradition, to name something is to invite it to notice you. In March of 1997, 43 people drove to the base of that mountain in 7 separate vehicles. They came from 5 different cities. They did not know each other before that year. They had one thing in common. They had all received the same letter. 43 people went up that mountain. None of them ever came back down. This is Voces del Abismo. The first confirmed recipient of the letter was a woman named Isabel Fuentes, age 34, a nurse from Puebla. By all accounts, a deeply rational person. She received the letter on January 14, 1997. She told her sister about it 2 days later. She said the letter knew things about her, the sister said. Personal things, things she had never told anyone, things she had never even written down anywhere. I asked her what things. She wouldn't tell me. She said I wouldn't understand. Isabel Fuentes resigned from her nursing position on February 3, 1997. She told her supervisor she had found her purpose. She told her landlord she wouldn't be needing the apartment anymore. She told her sister she was going somewhere beautiful. She sounded happy, her sister said. That's the worst part. She sounded genuinely, completely happy. Investigators later identified all 43 people who made the journey. They ranged in age from 19 to 67. A 19-year-old university student from Monterrey. A 67-year-old retired schoolteacher from Veracruz. A factory worker, a dentist, a single mother of 2, a former Catholic priest. None of them knew each other before the letter arrived. No shared religion, no shared politics, no shared background, no shared anything except the letter. Investigators recovered 11 copies of the letter from family members who kept them. All 11 were identical, same handwriting, same words, same symbol at the bottom. A graphologist who examined the 11 letters said something that made the lead investigator stop the interview. She said the 11 letters, despite being identical in content, had not been copied. Each one had been written separately, by hand. Humans cannot replicate their own handwriting this precisely, she said. The variations that make us human are simply not there. Whoever wrote these letters wrote them all at exactly the same moment. On March 21, 1997, the spring equinox, 7 vehicles were found parked at the base of the mountain. keys still inside each one, personal belongings on the seats. A farmer who worked nearby reported seeing the group beginning their ascent at approximately 6 a.m. He counted them, 43 people. He said they were walking in complete silence. No talking, no laughing, no sound of any kind. They weren't walking like people going for a hike, he said. They were walking like people who already knew exactly what was waiting for them. He watched until they disappeared into the trees. He did not think about them again until 4 days later, when the vehicles were still parked at the base. The search operation took 11 days. Trained mountain rescue teams, police search units, military personnel, helicopters that could not see through the forest canopy. Search dogs that followed the scent trail upward to a specific point 2 kilometers up the mountain and then refused to go further. All of them, every single dog, stopped at the same point, sat down, and would not move. They weren't afraid, he said. Fear, I know. This was different. They just stopped. Human searchers crossed that line and continued upward. 3 of them reported the same experience independently. At approximately the same elevation, a sudden, overwhelming feeling that they were not supposed to be there. Not fear exactly, more like a certainty that whatever was up there already knew you were coming and was waiting for you to get closer. All 3 turned back. None of them have returned to that mountain since. On the 7th day, a team approaching from the opposite side found a clearing, a perfect circle of flattened grass, approximately 30 meters in diameter. In the center of the clearing, 43 neat piles of personal belongings. Clothes folded, shoes placed side by side, wallets, phones, jewelry, all arranged in perfect circles. No bodies. No blood, no signs of violence, no tracks leading out of the clearing in any direction. As if 43 people had stood in that clearing, removed every item they were carrying, folded everything with great care, and then simply ceased to exist. It was only from the helicopter, looking directly down at the clearing, that investigators noticed something none of them had seen from the ground. The 43 piles were not randomly arranged. They formed a shape. The exact same symbol that appeared at the bottom of every letter. Made from the belongings of 43 people, arranged with a precision that would have been impossible to achieve, without being able to see the full pattern from above. A researcher named Professor Augusto Herrera spent 6 years studying the case. He interviewed every family member of the 43. He traced the origin of the letters. He analyzed the symbol. After 6 years, he published a single paper, 14 pages. The conclusion was one sentence. I have found no explanation for what happened on that mountain that falls within the boundaries of known reality. He was asked if he believed the 43 were still alive. He was quiet for a long time. I believe they are exactly where they chose to be. Whether that place exists in any world we can reach, I cannot say. The 43 have never been found. No remains, no contact, no trace beyond that silent clearing. Every year on March 21st, the spring equinox, They gather at the base of the mountain. They read the names, all 43. And every year, without fail, on that same morning, the families report receiving something in the mail. A letter, handwritten, no return address. The families have never revealed what the letters say, only that they continue to arrive every year on the equinox. One mother, whose son was among the 43, was asked if the letters brought her comfort. She held the photograph of her son for a long time before she answered. "He sounds happy," she said. "Wherever he is, he sounds like he found exactly what he was looking for. I don't know if that should comfort me. Most days, it does not." This was Voces del Abismo. Subscribe, because the next story also begins with a letter.